Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Today we go to Pocono in both the Xfinity Series and in the Cup Series, a track that we actually won at last season in the Cup Series with the last lap pass on Chase Elliott going into turn 3. So we're hoping to do that maybe again today, but we had Harrison Burton back in the car for our Xfinity race here in Pocono as the Watermelon Boy, Ross Chastain himself, started on the pole as they went down towards turns 1. So Harrison didn't have the best qualifying effort as you see him all the way down there in about P15, now up to the 14th position as he came out of turns 1, battling alongside the 42 of John Hunter Nemechek. Harrison would be able to work his way forwards a bit as he would work his way up to P11 now by about the midway point of this race, coming through the tunnel turn, trying to get himself into a top 10 position. And Harrison would be able to make a move to the inside of Ty Dillon and Brandon Jones going down now into turns 3 as he would be able to work himself now at this point inside of the top 10, and he would continue to move forward a few extra positions by the time he came to the last lap, heading down into the final turn side by side with Daniel Hemrick as they went down into turn 3 for the final time here in Pocono for the Xfinity Series. Harrison would battle on the exit of the corner side by side with Hemrick as they come down towards the line, the long straightaway to the line. Burton would edge out with Hemrick to get P7 in Pocono for our team. So continuing the top 10 runs for this team as Ross Chastain somehow pulls off the victory, as now we sit P6 in the standings here for the Xfinity Series. So we're doing a really good job with this team this season, unlike what we did in our first 2 seasons at the beginning of the season with this team. So much better start to the season, and hopefully we can continue it. But now it's time to set our sights on the Cup Series race in Pocono. Like I said, we won here last season. Now as we came to qualifying, once again as kind of the story of our season, we didn't really get the best qualifying lap down. Now as we come up to turn 3, heading down the front straightaway to come through to cross the line. And like I said, not a great lap, and it's going to show as it'll be a 51.046, and we will start in the 14th position here for Pocono at the Tricky Triangles. Jimmy Johnson down there in 25th as we get ready to go green here in Pocono. Let's see if we can move forwards.
We're coming to you live from Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania for today's running of the Pocono 400. Now, this Tricky Triangle is different than any other track these drivers will encounter all year. There are only 3 turns, each unique in design. Also, the tight turns and relatively low banking will require drivers to do a lot more shifting than the typical 2.5-mile speedway. So nailing the setup of the car is crucial. Which of these teams will unravel the mystery that is Pocono and make their way to victory lane? Well, the green flag is in the air. Let's go find out.
All right, we're ready to go green here in Pocono. Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch on the front row, the 2 Kyles, as Larson looks for win number 2 on the season after winning a few episodes ago, as Ty Dillon had to replace the transmission before the race, so he will be starting at the back of the field coming into today's episode now as we get ready to start alongside the 10 of Eric Almirola from 14th, and the green flag is out, and away we go now as we head down the long straightaway towards turns 1, probably the longest shot to a turn in the NASCAR schedule now as we head down towards the first corner. Larson, Busch side by side as we get down to the inside line immediately as we go down into turns 1, as you don't really want to be on that outside line this far up the field now as we settle in behind the 11 of our teammate of Denny Hamlin now as we come out of turn 1 side by side with the 22 of Joey Logano there in that Pennzoil Mustang as we head down towards the tunnel turn for the first time. It's obviously really easy to screw up that tunnel turn and really lose a bunch of positions now as we play it a little bit cautious. Going into the corners, Elliott, he has a mistake there, and that's going to cause a bit of a check-up, and that allows me to immediately get myself up towards the top 10 now as we head down into turn 3 and past the 9 of Chase Elliott as we come through the center of the corners. Ryan Newman, he was out there 3 wide as well. As we come out of turn 3, we clear Elliott here in this first lap, and by the time we went down towards turns 1, we would run down Ryan Blaney now with a chance to pass him on the second lap as we are quickly clicking off positions as we come out of turns 1, heading down the straightaway, trying to use the draft from the 11 to propel myself ahead of Ryan Blaney. And we would run down Brad Keselowski in the number 2 car now as we went into turns 1 here on lap 5, making a move to his inside to move up into that 6th position as we came out of turns 1, setting our sights on our teammate now of Denny Hamlin as we do have some momentum going down the straightaway, heading down towards the tunnel turn as we might be able to get a pass on him as we come out of the tunnel turn now as we try to play it a little bit safe here, don't want to make any mistakes as we come through the tunnel turn, building up a run, and we're going to look to the right hand side of Hamlin now as we exit the tunnel turn, making the pass on him to move ourselves inside inside of the top 5 now as we pass Hamlin going into turns 3 as Larson continues to lead over second place of Kevin Harvick at this point as we would close in now on the back of Kyle Busch down the straightaway looking to his inside as well as we came down towards turns 1 hitting lap 6 of 11 here in this first stage now as we continue to move ourselves forwards up through the field as Larson is out front just about a car length ahead of Harvick as we come through turns 1 looking to the inside of the 19 now of Truex as we try to move ourselves into the top 3. And we battle side by side with the 19 of our teammate of Truex going down the straightaways. There's a puff of smoke from the 4 of Harvick, and we're going to look to his left-hand side trying to get past him as it looks like he's about to crash. And there he goes sideways as he almost takes me out now as we come through the tunnel turn. And the green flag would stay out because NASCAR Heat 3 logic, and we would battle alongside Kyle Busch and actually lose a couple positions as we were coming to the white flag now as we had fallen all the way back to 5th, which is not all the way. We only lost 2 positions now as the white flag in stage 1 was out as NASCAR Heat Logic, as usual, comes in. That should have been a clear caution as we go for a big slide into turns 1. But yeah, it certainly should have been a caution from Harvick spinning, but obviously they decided to keep the green flag out because it gets us perfectly safe on the track now as we head down towards the tunnel turn, trying to run down Hamlin for that 4th position as late in this first stage we had fallen off quite a bit, as you could tell, as we actually barely mess up the tunnel turn, costing me even more time as we head down towards turns 3 for the final time in this first stage. Larson had actually lost the lead to Kyle Busch, so Busch was leading as we come out of turns 3 for the final time now in this first stage. Kyle Busch having a dominant season like last season in our career mode as he wins stage 1, and we will come through to get P5 in this stage. So certainly a solid stage effort for us. After starting P14, William Byron actually sneaks in to get a top 10 position there as he would come to pit road to take 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires. And likely at the end of stage 2, the AI are only going to take no tires or 2 tires, and we're going to have to take 4 if we don't want to have a wrecking loose car as usual. So we're going to give up a lot of positions at the end of the second stage. So we're going to do everything we can here to get the best finish possible in stage 2 as the green flag is out, and we return back to the action here in Pocono from the 5th position behind the 42 of Larson as Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr., our 2 JGR teammates, battle it out as we have all 4 JGR cars currently in the top 5 now as we head down towards turns 1. And certainly our JGR teammates, we haven't gotten along always with these guys. We've had run-ins with Kyle Busch. We had a rivalry with Martin Truex Jr. We've had a few run-ins with Denny Hamlin this season. So certainly we don't always get along with the guys on our team, as it doesn't seem like we fit in very well at this JGR team now as we head down towards the tunnel turn. Truex on the outside of Larson as Hamlin's going to stick his nose up my inside as I left it open just a little bit, and Hamlin took full advantage of me leaving that hole open on the inside lane, and he was able to sneak his nose in there. And now as we come through turn 3, he might be able to complete the pass on me as Truex gets cleared by the 42 of Kyle Larson, as we would have to check up a little bit on the exit of turn 3, just barely tagging the wall now as we come through to complete the first lap of the stage. Is Jamie McMurray having a great run as he tries to take the 5th position away from me as we head down towards turns 1. And as we head down into turns 1, McMurray has the advantage as he clears me through the center of the corner. We slide down behind him in front of Austin Dillon, who's been having a great run this season in our career mode as he looks to be a playoff contender possibly this season now as we look to the inside of Truex, heading down towards the tunnel turn now as we try to take over the 5th position from the 19 of Truex as we head down in through the tunnel turn. Hamlin on the outside of McMurray, and we're going to be able to look to the left rear of Denny Hamlin now as we head down towards turns 3, pulling ahead as we look to the inside of McMurray as well as we go down into the corner, just clearing Denny now as we move up into the 3rd position briefly as we come through the center of the corner, setting our sights on Kyle Busch and Larson, and Denny Hamlin would actually be able to follow me through as he would be on my inside as we came to lap 5 as we were looking to the back of Larson as we clear Denny going down into the tunnel turns now as Busch continues to lead over Larson. Larson screws up the tunnel turn, and we have a chance to take over 2nd place now as we head down towards turn 3, looking to Larson's inside as we head down into the corner side by side with the 42. We get punted from the 11, and he goes around, and around goes Denny Hamlin into the wall as it's a big incident behind, and the caution would fly. Denny just went into the corner and just straight up punted me from behind, which is very questionable. I'm not sure why he did it, but that has completely impeded his race, and it damaged my back bumper. So I immediately knew we're going to have a very loose car here on these final few laps of this second stage as we get ready to go green here in Pocono. Once again, the green flag was out, and we are underway now. 2 laps remain in this second stage as we have a chance to give Kyle Busch a big shot to the bumper now as we head down towards turns 1, getting him clear of Kyle Larson now as Kyle's going to move up towards the top, and we're going to take advantage as we look to his inside and try to take over the lead as we go down into the first corner. Austin Dillon sticking his nose up the inside of the 42 in my rear view mirror now as Busch easily clear, and away he goes now as we go down the straightaway, and we would not be able to quite get to him as we came to the final lap of this second stage now, heading down into the tunnel turn on the last lap of stage 2. He had built up even more of a gap, but we nailed the tunnel turn, and that allows me to close in a little bit now on the back of the 18. If we can nail turn 3, who knows, we may have a chance to win this stage now as we go into turn 3 for the final time now in stage 2. Kyle Busch looking like he is definitely in command at this point now as we come out of turn 3. Kyle Busch is going to hold on to win stage 2 as we come up just short in the second position. Austin Dillon just behind in third, Jamie McMurray fourth, William Byron fifth. Some surprise names up here in the top 10 or even just the top 5 of the second stage. We would come to pit road to take 2 cans of fuel, and we would have to take 4 tires, because if we don't take 4 tires, we've learned our lesson here before, the car will be wrecking loose. And unfortunately, we would drop all the way down to the 35th position because NASCAR Heat Logic and the AI don't need tires as we get ready to start this final stage in Pocono. The green flag is back out, and I'm still confident that we can definitely get a top 10. We've done this a couple times before where we started in like the mid-20s, the early 30s, and we came back and won one of these races, and we came back and finished second one time. So we definitely know how to get towards the front still after starting this far back. It looks like it's tough to do because there's only about 13 laps to go as we get into the back of David Reagan going into turns 1. A big checkup that I was not expecting now as we come out of the corner side by side with Michael McDowell as we head down the straightaway towards the tunnel turn. So certainly some issues early on in this third and final stage as we head down into the tunnel turn for the first time of this third and final stage now, as we should be able to clear Michael McDowell as we do that as we get into the back of the 95 of McDowell's. Once again, big checkups in front of us happening as we go down into turn 3 to come through now, closing in on completing this first lap in the final stage. Jimmy Johnson having an absolutely atrocious run once again in our career mode as he cannot seem to turn anything around after his Daytona 500 victory as we come through side by side, 3 wide actually, with De Benedetto and Chris Buescher as we head down towards turns 1 here in the third and final stage, closing in on already 10 laps to go as we go 3 wide just about now, side by side with the 38 as we get into the back of the 13 of Ty Dillon as we would move up the track, continuing to run into problems. And now we certainly have a lot of work to do as we sit in the 32nd position as we close in towards 11 laps to go at this point now behind Ross Chastain. We would work our way up to P23 actually using this outside lane as we come through turn 3 as I decided to jump up to the top and it started working out. And we make an ambitious move to the outside of Newman in a 3 wide, and he's going to put me blatantly in the wall as we would cross the line and lose those positions. And we would try it once again as we came through turns 1, making a move once again to the outside of Ryan Newman. This time, though, we would make the pass work as we come down the back straightaway, pushing the 8 of Daniel Hemrick as we'd work our way into the top 20, certainly gaining all this time that we had lost back as we would move up to P13 as we came to lap 32, passing William Byron now as we go down into turn 3 behind Clint Boyer as we come through, closing in on the back of the 88. Byron's going to get into the back of me as he gives me a little bit of a punt just like Denny Hamlin, our teammate, did earlier, except it ended a lot better for Byron than it did Hamlin now as we make it 3 wide with Bowman as we try to move into the top 10. At this point, only 8 laps remain in this race as we head down towards turns 1. Looking to the left-hand side of Daniel Suarez on the number 41 car as we come through the center of the corner. Joey Gase, Landon Tasso, some back runners up here now as we get past Joey Gase at least to move well inside of the top 8 now as we head down the straightaway. And by the time we came to just another handful of laps later, we had moved up to P6 behind our teammate of Truex as it was looking like the car was really starting to fall off at this point as we close in now on lap 38 coming through the tunnel turn. I made a big mistake as we hit the apron a bit and shot up towards the wall, and into the wall we go. Some damage done to the car, but the green flag would stay on. That would pretty much do us in as it looked like at least for the rest of this race as we came through now to take the white flag at this point in Pocono, heading down towards turns 1 all on our own on a lonely island right now as we head down into turns 1 for the final time, 7.1 seconds behind the leader as we come through the center of the corner. Who's going to win? It might be changed because we would end up getting a caution and overtime would be forced. Kyle Busch currently leads this race, but he has to work for it now as we get ready to go to overtime here in Pocono. We will start behind Martin Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin now as the green flag is out, and we are once again underway now for overtime for the second consecutive race in Pocono. And you will notice an audio cutout for a brief moment there due to my controller batteries dying now as we head down towards turns 1, trying to get into this inside lane behind William Byron, and it works out in my favor now as we come through turns 1. A bit of a slide from the rear end of the car, certainly not the best handling car late in this race as it had fallen off quite a bit. Unfortunately now as we battle alongside the 19 of Truex as we have to be aggressive in these final 2 laps to get whatever positions we can as we make it 3 wide with Byron and Truex going down into the tunnel turn now, going a little wide on the exit of the corner, just about getting into the 24. Ryan Blaney's going to force the 3 wide as we come down the straightaway heading down towards turn 3, looking to the back of the 42 now of Kyle Larson. And as we go into turn 3, Blaney's going to push up the track, and that's going to send me all the way up the hill now in front of the 24, as we're going to lose a couple positions due to Blaney just kind of overshooting turn 3 and messing me up now as we come through to take the white flag in Pocono alongside the 41 of Suarez. We're going to come down to side draft him a bit to impede his chances of clearing me now as we head down into turns 1 for the final time here in Pocono. Kyle Busch out front and in command as we try to get clear of the 41 of Daniel Suarez as we come down the straightaway, just about clearing him now as we do clear the 41 using the draft from the 42 of Larson as we head down towards the tunnel turn for the final time in Pocono. In overtime as we close in on the back of the 12 of Blaney as we come through the corner. I kind of thought about giving him a bit of a shot to the bumper for what he did coming to the white, but I thought better of it now as we head down towards turn 3 for the final time in Pocono, just in front of the 41 of Suarez. Looking to the left-hand side now, the 42 of Larson was a very bad turn 3, and we would clear him for the 6th position as we come down the front straightaway. We're going to come through to rally back to a 6th place finish in Pocono, which is really maybe a spot or 2 worse than what we had run in the majority of this race. So I wasn't really disappointed with that. Certainly much better than what it was going to be, as Kyle Busch did hang on to get the victory for, I think, win number 4 on the season, I think, now. So he is having one legendary season in the making if it continues, as Kevin Harvick finishes last, as he is yet to win a race this season, surprisingly. Obviously, he won a championship last season in our career mode, but right now he has some work to do if he wants to build up more playoff points. He only has 3 playoff points, as Kyle Busch now has 4 wins and 25 playoff points, as he is making it known that he wants to make another Final Four run this season and have a chance at championship number 2 in his career, as we have a few drivers who aren't very happy with me. Denny Hamlin, we're going to provoke him because when he punted me out of the way, that was 100% his fault. It's not my fault that he punted me and he couldn't save his own car. But obviously in the next episode, we will be going to Michigan, a track that we have won before and finished second at many times here. So hopefully we can go to Michigan and have a solid run and maybe have a chance to win. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be incredibly appreciated. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this video and all of my other videos. And I will see you guys in the next one when we go to Michigan. As you see the playoff grid on your screen, Almirola currently the last car in, but the closest guy on points is Ryan Newman, 98 out. So certainly looking like Almirola is pretty safe. But I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.